it looks like we have a new queen for machine gun units in NIKKE, and she is pretty strong. Ludmilla, Winter Owner, it's amazing. Let's talk a little bit about her. The best build you can be running with her, why she's so strong, her skill set, and also team compositions. A little bit of a complete guide for her. Also, as you are seeing on the screen, mistakes were made. Yes, MLB. I wanted to go for one copy. I will probably be complaining about this MLB in 2 weeks. You will be seeing me saying this MLB was a bad idea, just like I always do, but it's fine. And I finally also got my Pokédex complete. I'm missing Mika right now, of course, because you cannot get her, but I finally got Miracle Fairy N. I got her on my last multi, but I got her, so I'm happy. Now I have only 200 gems, but it is what it is. That's it. Hello Dinarets, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefi, and let's talk about Ludmilla, Winter Owner, and why she's so good. So let's just go directly into her, and then we'll do a couple of runs and see. So just as a quick summary, she's doing, for me, compared to Babu, to Modernia, 75 to 80% of that damage. No investment. By no investment, I mean no overload gear. I mean 7 for 7 in comparison to 9, 10, 6 and 3 overloaded pieces. Pretty damn good for a unit that has no overload or anything. Also, she is, again, 3 stars, while Babu is only 1 star, but Pilgrim's scale a lot better. Also, she is rank 30 in terms of affection. I just used all of my tickets on her, all of my gifts. Now I have no tickets left. Once again, good decisions, good decisions. Let's get into her best build and everything related to this, starting with the gear itself. What stats you want to go for, and it's going to be, of course, max ammunition, 2 lines, it's enough, depending on the type of team composition you go with, to have an infinite magazine. Basically, 2 lines is enough. If you get more, nice. If not, it's whatever. The next after that priority is going to be elemental and attack. Attack takes even a better priority because machine guns in this game scale so well of attack. And then elemental damage, because she's going to be a unit that even if she can be used outside of elemental content, she will really excel at that. So elemental damage, attack, and max ammo are the priorities. After that, you don't really need hit rate. If you can get some critical damage, that would be nice, because critical rate you will also already get with her kit. Speaking of the kit, let's talk about the skills and the priority to level this up. Priority is going to be a skill 1 burst, a skill 2 for low investment if you don't care too much, 7 for 7 if you're gonna go all in. I'm sorry to say, but this is another 10, 10, 10 unit. If you don't have the resources to go 10, 10, 10, I would recommend 10, 7, 10. The burst can be left at 9, 10, 9/10 because the increase of attack you get from level 9 to 10 is not that big. But still, I will go 10, 10, 10 on the long term. If not, 10, 7, 10. For me, for now, it's going to be a 7 for 7 because resources are scarce. I think I could take a skill 1 to 10 and that's it, nothing else. So I'm not going to be doing that. Let's talk about her kit though. Skill number 1 is the Queen's Gaze. This is a permanent single target damage taken debuff for the enemy, which is amazing. If you pair this with Novel for specific bosses, it's going to be pretty nice, but you're not going to be pairing this with Novel. Most of the time, she's going to be used with a Schoolgirl, and we'll talk about why in a second when we talk about team compositions. Then you have the other good part, which is activates when landing 16 normal attacks, affects self, reloads 17 rounds, which is as if she has a small built-in Bastion cube on her own. So once again, the good part is not only the damage taken debuff, but also the constant damage she's doing, which is final attack. Always good to get final attack because it means you are scaling super well of attack. Now skill number 2, Snowstorm, once again activates when hitting the core for 60 times. You might be thinking, okay, this might be hard to maintain, but she's hitting the core constantly. She doesn't stop hitting the core, and you'll see this later. It's just constant core hitting. The extra damage it's providing is nothing amazing, but it's nice. Everything counts towards a DPS unit, a burst 3 DPS, so this is good to have. The good part is the second, because it activates at the beginning of full burst, affects herself, critical rate increased by 10%. At level 10, I believe it's like 14%, and the thing is, she's constantly hitting cores and has a 10% increased critical rate, meaning she's going to be doing a lot of critical damage, and that is why skill number 2 is pretty good, and it's a significant part of her damage, even if you don't fully invest in her, because from level 4 to level 10, it goes from 10 to I think it's 14, correct me if I'm wrong. And then lastly we have Guiding Lantern, which is the personal skill for the second, of course, affecting herself, increasing her own attack by 60 something percent and reloading speed. Reloading speed, we were all like, I'm not sure if this is going to be good, I'm not sure if this is going to be useful or not. It's kind of useful and we'll see on what situations, but the good part is the attack. Seeing how all of her skills increase on final attack and they are passive proccing pretty often, this is really good. One of the downsides is that this activates when hitting 60 times the core and this after landing 60 normal attacks. This would be pretty good if you can maintain 60 frames per second. If not, if you are playing on phone, this is going to be harder to maintain, harder to pro. So PC users, once again, have an advantage because how this game is coded. A lot of games tie their damage to the FPS. It's a little bit stupid, and it's stupid when we have competitive game modes, but it is what it is. We can't do anything about it, right? So once again, 747 low investment, 10, 7, 10 for high investment, long term, 10, 10, 10. Now let's talk about Cube. Before we go into team compositions, there's going to be two options. Bastion, Resilience. Which one do you have to use? It depends on the compositions. So let's talk about the team compositions and see where she is going to be shining. So first of all, let me put her here. Where is our new beautiful girl? Here, there she is. There is multiple things you can be doing with her. One, and one of the most obvious ones, is going to be schoolgirls. A lot of people will be running her with the schoolgirls for the fact that bosses with cores are going to be meta with a unit like Ludmilla that's constantly hitting that. As a sub DPS, even outside of elemental content, is going to be crazy damage. Volume, if you want to go more oriented towards critical, you could also run, which might be a little bit of copium, but we'll see on solo raid, Summer Mary. Summer Mary might be increasing her damage by a lot, might not work. Again, we have to wait for solo raid, because even if you go to the shooting range and you get better results, it's not a super good indicative or a final decisive test for anything. It's still pretty good. I would run, however, volume for most stuff when it comes to schoolgirls, and Ludmilla for the creep. If you are running this team, you want to go with the Resilience Cube for Ludmilla because she takes 3 seconds to reload. You cannot have infinite ammo with this team because no one is increasing it or not enough, right? So you want to go Resilience to actually be able to reload fast enough. What is the other team and the other alternative? Well, we all know what's gonna be. That's gonna be Bunny Girls with Litter. Most of the time it's gonna be Litter, right? You could also be putting here Volume, you could also be putting there Dorothy, etc, etc. But Litter plus Bunnies means infinite ammo if you are using Bastion Cube plus overloaded gear on Ludmilla. If you don't have overloaded gear, I would still probably suggest going with Resilience just in case to avoid those downtimes while reloading. Her reload speed is pretty good and will work, but every other burst, when she's not bursting, she will actually take those 3 seconds. So you do need a lot of ammunition. Again, a couple lines of max ammo is going to be enough. Other than those two compositions, of course, a lot of people might be running her with Volume for the crits and then with something like Novel for the extra damage they can deal. This is going to depend on the raid we are doing. For example, next raid is going to be a water weak boss. Of course, it's going to be team 1 or team 2 with Bunnies or Schoolgirls. So you're going to be running that team with Novel when it's off element, most likely. When it's element, there is a better alternative to put Ludmilla with Novel instead of Bunnies or Schoolgirls, because they just provide way too much benefits, right? Even though Novel for bosses is most likely one of the best support units or debuffers, if you want to call that. Now that said, that is the build for our new girl Ludmilla. That is what she's doing. Let's run a 1 minute 30 test so you can see what she's doing and how much damage she's providing. Again, she's doing 75 to 80% of damage of my Modernia while off elements, right? Both on a neutral element. So if we go to iron or if we go to electric, it doesn't matter which one. Let's just run iron, 130 minute with Litter and Bunnies, and we're gonna be putting, of course, for that Resilience because she does not have overload. My girl doesn't have any overloaded pieces, as you can see, no overload. That said, let's run this at 130 and see what's going on. So once again with Litter, with Bunnies, and running both Ludmilla and Modernia, we're doing 270, 268. This is going to depend just on your level, nothing else. The higher level you are, the bigger your numbers are going to be. And as you can see, we are getting Ludmilla with 71 and Modernia with 99. Again, a lot less investment on our Ludmilla compared to Modernia. If Ludmilla was fully overloaded, those numbers will be pretty even out. So does it mean that Babu is useless now? Does it mean that she is dethroned as the best machine gun of the game? Well, two things here. I do think that Modernia is less flexible than Ludmilla because you can burst with her, which allows, well, more compositions with the schoolgirls, basically. But I don't think they are dethroning anyone, right? We are at a point in the game where it doesn't matter what they release. They have to release something as broken as Red Hood to completely dethrone other units. We are getting really, really good and impressive units, but most day one players already have those type of things, right? You already have your meta team that you're running, or at least a again, most day one players. For new players, this is great, because if they miss Red Hood or if they miss Modernia back in the day, now they have the option of getting a really strong unit to start their accounts. And for the other people, I would recommend grabbing a copy if you can. But that's gonna be about it for this video, boys. I'm actually pretty impressed with Ludmilla. I really like what I'm seeing. I really like her design. The background itself, I'm already starting to regret it, but it's fine, it's fine. We have tickets. We have tickets for Mika, so we are good on that regard. 781. That's it, boys. That's gonna be it for this one. Let me know if you pulled, how were your pulls. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. Good luck with your pull generates, and see you on the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。